I'm gonna be honest, this has been a very bad dash. Very bad. It's probably my worst lunch dash ever. Literally. Since I've started.
The Silver Dasher.
Morning. It is Friday. I'm in the car. I'm getting ready to do a morning dash. So let's go ahead and get started. It says peak time until 7:29. Let's see what happens. Yes, I am using an insulated bag. And I'm going to probably have to take a picture on my first order. So, all right, let's go and get started. Hopefully I can pick up something here right away like I did yesterday. Well, I take that the day before. I did not dash Thursday. I was going to, but I had so many errands to do. I got most of them done, and I got a lot of work that I need to get done. A few couple items didn't get done, but that's okay. But the vast majority of what I needed, some of the important stuff I needed, were done. So yeah, it's a little wet this morning. It's not raining. It rained last night, and it's cold. Not below freezing cold, but it's cold. But hopefully it'll warm up a little bit. Get the jacket on because of it's overcast and it may rain somewhere on delivery. So anyhow, all right. I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to hit the Jack's as base today. So anyhow, so on the Jack's and see. Hopefully we pick up an order. So see you in a little bit. Well, this is not a good sign. Set at Jack's for 40 minutes, so I decided to let's move around a little bit. Let's go over Starbucks. Just as I was getting to Starbucks, finally got a Jack's order, but $6 for a little over 6 miles heading to Lincoln. I took it, and that's because I'm sitting there 40 minutes and not getting anything. It's starting to be misty again. So yeah, it's been a while since I had to wait that long in the breakfast for an order. Yeah, so either nobody's buying or there's too many drivers. It's the only way I can think of. So anyway, on the Jackson the customer. See you in a little bit. Well, I just dropped off that Jack's order, but it kind of went from a $6 order to a $12 order as I was waiting at Jack's. Another order came in, so it was a stacked order, but it's 2 Jack's orders to the same customer. And I tell you what, I'm glad I had bought those couple of those drink carriers, just insulated that holds 3. Because I wind up carrying 5 drinks. In fact, I had to pull one of the drink carriers out of the bag and had to carry it separately. They come with handles. So I had the food in the bag with one of the drink carriers in the bag, and I had to carry the other drink carrier outside. But it's insulated, so I had to zip it up. So. Yeah, so they all had extra large drinks, so 5 extra large drinks, pair of and 2 bags with food. Looks like a lot of Jack's breakfast. And I delivered to. Looks like they're having a family gathering because there were like 1 million cars in the driveway and the yard. So anyway, so $6 order for 6 miles turned to a $12 order for 6 miles. Or just under 12. So anyway, so heading back to base. But hopefully I get more orders because it was I waited 45 minutes for that Jack's order. Hopefully things will pick up here for breakfast. So anyway, heading back to base, and so see you in a little bit. Well, just got close to base. I accepted a Burger King order. In fact, unfortunately, I forgot to take a screenshot, but it was $6 for 1 mile. So, yeah, I'll take that. So, on the Burger King, and then the customer. See you in a little bit.
You want to make that a combo?
Yes, sir. Well, I just dropped off that Burger King order, very short distance to a repeat customer. Because I recognized, I recognized the name, but what I really recognize is the specific instructions. And then when I see the instructions, I've been here before. And sure enough, to an apartment complex I've been to many, many, many times. And just as I dropped off, I picked up another order, but it's slightly above water, but heck, I haven't got an order. It took 45 minutes to get the first order, and this is only my third order, and I got just over an hour left. So I'm going to Chick-fil-A for about $5 for 5 miles. But right now beggars can't be choosers, because right now it just things are slow. Especially I start off really slow. So anyway, off to Chick-fil-A and then the customer. See you in a little bit. Well, I just delivered that Chick-fil-A order to the business that I've been to many times. It's the one where if a PIN number is required, I always have to call support, because they'll never get it to work until the last time I was here. A PIN number required. It did work finally. But what was unique about this, because my very first time that I ever came here, and this was like it may have been the first day I started, or the very first full day of door dashing. It brought me here, but it brought me to the warehouse part of the business. And that's where the directions, and I had to go to which is now the employee entrance. That's where they have the employee entrance is also where they have their break room. So ever since then, the app has adjusted and made me go to the employee entrance. But up until today, it always says, either, hand to customer or PIN number required. Today was just leave at the door. I said, leave at the door? There's like, 30, 40 people going in and out, if I leave at the door, it could be easily stolen. So I had planned on either calling when I finally get there, and the app told me directly toward the employee entrance that I was going to call and text us, look, I'm here, I'm sure you don't want me to leave at the door. But she came out and met me. So, and I mentioned it to her. I said, I told her, saying, I've been here many times and they always come in, but this is the first time I've seen you leave at the door. And she said, yeah, I think she made a mistake. I think next time she's going to change it to say, hand to customer, that type of thing. So anyway, I got 15 minutes left in the dash. Things, waiting for another order. That was a back-to-back, but now I'm sitting here waiting. So don't know what the deal is. Do I want to go back to the Jack's area or the Chick-fil-A area? I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to head back over to the Jack's area. Maybe I'll pick up a McDonald's breakfast order. But we will see. So anyway, on to base and hopefully pick up an order. So see you in a little bit. Well, after about a 30-minute wait, finally got a McDonald's order. It's $8 for 9 miles, but this is going to be my last dash, and the destination is going to be towards Owenville, but that's going towards where I live, so it would be easier to get home. So anyhow, off to McDonald's and then to the customer. See you in a little bit. Well, I just delivered that McDonald's to a repeat customer. I've been to that place, to the house one time before. I've been on this road. It's I would consider this almost deliverance country. Yeah, I'm in the hills, and there's nothing but mobile homes around here. That's how it is around here. Yeah, I think there's one old subdivision up here, but just as I completed that order, another one was offered. For some reason, miraculously, my DoorDash time got extended by 30 minutes. So, but it was a Dollar General shop and deliver, and I declined it. It was well, for a couple of reasons. The more important reason was it was only $5 for 8 miles, and it was going to take me further away from home. And it's already 10 after my end of my dash time that I wanted to do, and I need to go home, take a break, get something to eat. It's a little cold. This morning dash. Now, this order, looking at, just to give you some idea, was my 5th offer. I usually average 4 in the morning. So if actually, there were 6 offers, I declined 1. You'd be happy to know that now my acceptance rates is back down to 83. I got it back up to 84, but now it's back down to 83. So, so yeah, I'm gonna head back home. I'm not too far away. I'm about according to the GPS, I'm 6 miles away from home. 8 minutes. So, like I said, I'm gonna head home. When I get there, I'll give a final summary of this morning. I will tell you this. This was the offers were few and far between. I didn't get my first offer until 45 minutes, which is highly unusual. You've seen the videos. As soon as I started my breakfast dash, 9 times out of 10, I get an offer while I'm backing out of my garage. 9 times 10 is from Chick-fil-A. A couple times it's been Jack's. But no, almost 40 minutes, 45 minutes actually. Whew, man, it's been early morning, but it's misty, overcast, a little cold. It's in the low 40s, so it's cold, but not that cold. But yeah, it's I hope lunch is way better than this. Well, I take the back. Yeah, I definitely like lunch to be way better than this, but this breakfast dash was a little bit better since I took that last McDonald's dash. So anyway, let us head home. I'll give a brief summary, and we'll see you in a little bit. Well, finally made it home. It's been a slow dash. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. That 40-minute wait for my first order was very unusual. So anyway, I made a total of $31.31 this morning. I had 5 out of 6 deliveries, and total dash time is 2 hours and 40 minutes. So I'm going to take a break, go in and have an early lunch, and then we will do this again for lunch dash. So see you in a little bit. Welcome back. It's now time for the lunch dash. Let's go ahead and start the app, see what we get. Let's see here. In that time, do we have anything that pops up? Nope, nothing pops up. All right, let's head over to our normal base station, which for lunch I use it as Cracker Barrel. Sometimes, if things slow down, I kind of move around a little bit. But still overcast, still a little cool, still wet, but it's not raining anymore. It's just a slight miserable day. So anyway, so on the base we go. Hopefully we'll pick up an order here real soon. So see you in a little bit. Well, just like this morning, had to wait a little bit. I waited 20 minutes for this one, but picked up a Mexican order to a new Mexican restaurant in the area, La Luna Grill. Been there before, pretty decent. Used to be a barbecue place, and then it faltered. So on to the restaurant, then the customer. So see you in a little bit.
We'll say Rachel shouldn't have, but
Continue on Comer Avenue for 1 mile.
Well, I just dropped off the Mexican food at a construction site of all places. When I told him that I was in, he left I got a picture that was texted me through the app, and it showed the picture, and there's a sign of the construction company's building something. Sure enough, there's a couple workers in their cars, and he came out, and I asked him. I've been by this construction site, many times. I asked him, what's being built at it. He said he didn't know. They're just there to, it's a big, huge metal building. It's huge. It's like, it's, you can put an airplane inside of it. And that's how big it is. Well, maybe in a few months we'll find out what it is. So anyway, just as I'd finished giving that order, I picked up a shop and deliver, $4, 3 miles, but compared to this morning, the offers are slim. So off to Dollar General. That's the one in downtown. Been there many times. So let's go shopping and then to the customer. See you in a little bit. Well, I just delivered that Dollar General order. Very small order, 2 energy drinks. And I was able to find them right away and deliver it. And I delivered to a neighborhood I've been to many times. I knew exactly where to go. In fact, this customer is a repeat customer because I remember the house. And it's also he lives on the same street as the customer that trying to make me break the rules of buying of another shop and deliver, where she wanted me to go to another store to buy her cigarettes. So anyway, so now I'm heading back to base. Hopefully get another order here real soon. So we'll see you in a little bit. Well, I've been sitting at base for a little bit. I did have to take a quick break. I had to go back home because I forgot something. I had to get it before I continue working. And I made it to base and waited for a little bit, and then now I got a Zaxby's order. In fact, I think I'm picking up 2 orders. It's pick up and 2 drop-offs. So anyway, we'll see how well this works out. So on the Zaxby's and then the customers. See you in a little bit. Well, I just delivered at Zaxby's. The double order was to the same customer. Delivered to, of all places, the Ragland water treatment plant. Been by this place many times when I was doing Spark, when I delivered out the Ragland. And I kind of guessed. I said, "Let me guess, you ordered food and forgot a drink." So, yeah. He says, "I can't leave the building." He's the only one, because he's monitoring the treatment procedures for the water. And he says, and he had nothing to drink there, so you had to quickly order a drink. So yeah, he was very appreciative of me bringing it out there. So yeah, so that's something new, type of business. I delivered to a cement plant. That was very interesting. Those big, huge trucks coming in and out, and those big, huge, whatever those tall silos and all that. I guess that's all the mixture of the cement, aggregate, and sand, whatever the mixture is, to make their cement. So I remember it was to a young lady. She was working there. So anyway, I'm out of the zone. I'm on the north side of the zone. So once I'm back into the zone, I'm practically near base. So hopefully I'll pick up an order as soon as I get into range. I'm about 9 miles away. So anyhow, so on to base and hopefully pick up another order. So see you in a little bit. I've been sitting at base for a little while, at least 30 minutes, and got a small Zaxby order, $3 and for a mile. I'm just going across the interstate, but it's something to do. Today's been slow. The breakfast was slow, even though I wound up a decent amount, but lunch is really slow. All right, back at Zaxby's, going inside and get the order and then the customer. See you in a little bit. Well, that was a real pleasant surprise. I really tell you that. Very small order, and it's just across the interstate and going the back way. To a business I've been before. It's a nail salon. What's unique about this business, and it almost looks like a personal residence, But of course, it has a nice storefront and all that. But in the back, there's a boat under a cover, some cars, and it looks like a little cottage in the back, and it looks like, to me, it's like a private residence with a business up front. So when the lady came out, I asked her about that. She said, no, they just keep their extra vehicles here, the owners, and they do have a little, if things go on, they got a little back area. But was most pleasant surprise, she gave me a $10 cash tip. Wow. That's the most cash tip. On top of the whatever little tip I got, it's a $1 something tip. But it was only a mile and a half, 2 miles away. So, and I was waiting almost 30 minutes on it. So anyway, but yeah, that brings a smile to my face. $10 cash tip. So, and I got a $2 tip the other day, which I still got in my car. So you'd be surprised, these little jobs, you might wind up with a big tip. Just like I did a couple of weeks or a month ago or something like that. I got a small little job. But I got a big tip. Talking about, so yeah, it's can't help but smile. So anyway, compared to this day, it's just a dreary day. At least it's not as cold, and this being a Friday. Of course, my wife reminded me this morning that it's her pick today. I told her, well, you can pick anything besides barbecue. And she says, I don't have that right. So I have a feeling we're going to barbecue. Ugh. It's not that I don't like barbecue. It's just, for a while, my wife was on a barbecue kick. And so every time it was her pick, we'd go to barbecue. So I just kind of got, ugh. Another thing, the barbecue places that we like to go, we used to go and like, they changed their menus, especially after COVID. One place we really liked to go, they had homemade mashed potatoes. Well, they said they don't make, since COVID, they stopped making it, because they were limiting their menu. Well, COVID's been passed now, and they still haven't brought it up. They says, well, we do it by hand, so it takes, dude, you're in the wrong lane. Idiot. So, yeah. So I'm arriving back at Cracker Barrel, and the restaurant said, well, it takes too long and we don't have the personnel to make the mashed potatoes. After 3 years, you don't have personnel to make mashed potatoes. Till this day. And that restaurant's name is Jim and Nick's. Pretty famous for barbecue around here. But I don't know. That was one of my favorites. Their homemade mashed potatoes. Where they're making, you still have the skin of the potato mixed in with it. So anyway, all right. Well, back at base. So gonna wait it out. Hopefully, I pick up another order real soon. So see you in a little bit. Well, after another long wait, about 15 minutes or 20 minutes, I got to shop and deliver to Walgreens. It's been a while since I've been to Walgreens. It was like $6 for 3 miles. At least I'm not doing that. That first attempt I did, which was unfortunately to that sad place, where the customer gets a monthly delivery of underlayments for the bed to help absorb body fluids, for somebody who's bedridden. So anyway, off to Walgreens and then the customer. See you in a little bit. Well, I just dropped off that Walgreens order. A little tricky because it says house with no cars. Well, I found one with a car, but they said the porch light was on. I saw it, and the picture in the app matched the door. So, but that's a crazy driveway here. As the road gets here, it's I think this was planned to be a very nice neighborhood or something like that, but there were 2 sets of roads going up here. I don't know if this was supposed to be 2-way going this way or another set going that way, but I don't think this got fully developed. Looks like they had their own little private driveway here, but it's just woods and gravel road. So I'm gonna be honest, I've never been in this part of town. So anyway, Well, at least that part. I've been down this road before. So, anyhow, I've only got 15 minutes left in the dash. I'm gonna be honest, this has been a very bad dash. Very bad. It's probably my worst lunch dash ever. Literally. Since I've started. Let's see. Based on the quick 2 items I had this morning, I'm not gonna make $40 for 4 hours. I'm not gonna make that. So, well, I got 15 minutes to help make 4 up, but it's just the offers were just not there. I mean, I waited 40 minutes, got an offer. With another 30 minutes, it's like on average about 30-40 minutes between offers, and then people complained that I'm taking underwater. Well, I did decline one order, and it was I think it was a Dollar General one, but it was like, or maybe it was Jack's, but it was like $4 for 8 miles. I didn't accept that one. So, yeah. What we got here? Looks like they're doing some utility work. Yep, they're doing some utility work. Either says a cable or electric. Oh, it's a high-speed internet. So anyway, I'm gonna make my way back to Cracker Barrel. Maybe I can get something here before the dash is over. So yeah, worst dash ever. As far lunch dash. So anyway, head back to Cracker Barrel, and we'll see you in a little bit. Well, just as my dash was about to end, I decided to take one last offer. It's a Chick-fil-A, $8, 8 miles. It's going to go down the gauntlet. But I'm going to be honest, this has been such a bad day. I took it, and it was 20 minutes, 15 minutes since the last offer, since I finished delivering that Walgreens shop and deliver. So yeah, this is gonna be my last dash of the day. I need something to help boost up something. $8, So anyway, on to Chick-fil-A and then the customer, and then after that I'll be heading home and give you the worst summary of a lunch dash ever. So see you in a little bit. Well, I dropped out the Chick-fil-A into the neighborhood. I've been out here many times. It's just south of the city. There's a lot of lakefront. In fact, I've been out here with Walmart Spark. But yeah, it's a very nice neighborhood. It's the one where when you start getting off the main, the Gauntlet Road, when you get off, it doesn't look like it's going to be much out here because, there's a lot of, couple, rundown homes and all that. But as soon as you start driving further along the road, then you start hitting the nice houses, and this whole neighborhood, everything's very nice, and somewhat established house. I think these houses are at least 20 plus years old. So yeah, been out here many times. In fact, I remember my very first Walmart Spark shopping order was out to this neighborhood. It was the one where I had to get out and move the toys and move in and deliver that. It's also the same neighborhood where I almost got it canceled 5 minutes before, because I had the 3 orders in the morning, and the second one was the 100 plus items, 30 bags worth of stuff to a restaurant in downtown Pell City, and that delayed me tremendously. In that, so I came out here, and in fact, near where I just dropped off that Chick-fil-A, that order, and I had 5 minutes left before it was going to cancel on me. So yeah, very familiar with this neighborhood. Very nice. Traffic lane still dreary, still in the mid 40s temperature wise. This has just been a bad day. It's Friday. I'm not going to do anything tomorrow. I'm going to rest. I need the rest. Gives me a chance to catch up on some videos. I'm like 2 weeks behind. I may never catch up, but gives me plenty to do, and I'm getting better at editing the videos. Like I said, I bought this editing tool. It's called the Toolbox. I think that's what it's called. Helps me move through the videos and edit and cut the clips a lot easier, faster. So yeah, but yeah, this is just a bad day. You have them every once in a while, but parts of it were very good. I got a $10 cash tip, so yeah, that brightened my day. So if you add that on top of what I did, it won't be. It's not as bad, but it's bad. Because I'm looking at the number of offers, it was low, and that canceled, and I declined 2 of them today. Y'all be happy that I declined. Look, I'll say again, I know people will get on me. Your orders are. I know y'all mean well. I really do. Now, for the people who tell me that I'm an idiot, yeah, well, I don't think you're meaning well. I think you're a troll. So, there's a guy on a Segway up here. Or one of those. Okay. Or whatever those little razor thing. He's got, that's strange. He's wearing, at least he's wearing an orange vest. I call it a Segway. It's not a true Segway. It's one of those, those small razor scooters, razor blades, whatever. That's what it looked like. When I first saw him just running, it looks like a Segway. So anyway, boy, you see something strange. So anyway, I'm calling it a day. So heading home, and when I get there, I'll give a summary, and we'll see how bad it was. So see you in a little bit. Well, I'm back home. This has just been a bad day. Now this morning, the morning dash was really good. It was the second best of the week. The lunch dash, to give you some idea, let's see, I'll have to calculate the totals, but I did 2 small dashes today for lunch because I had to come back home. The small one I did, the first 2 orders, I did $11.85. That was an hour and 4-minute dash time. And then after my having to come back, I made $28.70 on 4 offers, 5 deliveries. But of all those combined, I had a couple declines. So I only really made, $39, $40. But if you count the $10 cash tip, that's, close to $50. But my other 2 were almost $60. So it's been, this has been bad. for example, that the dash time on the second half was 2 hours and 58 minutes. So total time of, say, that's 3 hours. And then this morning, so 4 hours and 2 minutes, you know, yeah, it was bad. And plus, it's just everything was just, you know, so many minutes in between. Like when the first dash, this for lunch, I waited 40 minutes, and then there was a 30-minute wait, then a 20-minute wait. You know, and it's a really total of six deliveries in the afternoon. Let's see. For example, if I look at the Wednesdays, I did 8 deliveries. On Tuesday, yeah, I did 6, but I got paid more. So I had to, you know, average of 6. You know, was hoping 8, but see, I had to go into extra time since to get that last one. So if I had stopped before I got that Chick-fil-A, it would have been 5 offers. So anyhow, but you know, that's the way it goes. Some days are good, some days are not. You take the good with the bad. Like I said, my market is finicky. You know, I'm gonna be honest with it. I envy people who live closer to major metropolitan areas or in the surrounding area of a major metropolitan area. Especially, you know, if you live in a major city and then the outlying areas are also very populated. Y'all got lucky. You can afford to decline all those, you know, underwater offers. In my case, I'm slowly declining the really bad underwater, but if it's within, you know, a mile or two of the dollar, I take it. So anyway, but today's Friday. I'm not going to do anything tomorrow. I will do a Spark on Sunday. So if you enjoyed coming along with my adventure and misadventures and like the video, I urge you to like the video. And if you enjoy what I do and what I talk about and enjoy this channel, I urge you to subscribe so you can see the future, be notified on the future videos. So anyway, I'm going to call it evening. Talk to the wife. She thought about barbecue, but I think she wants seafood. I think we may be going to Red Lobster. We'll have to wait and see. So anyway, enjoy the rest of your evening, and we will see you later. Bye.